Hi everybody, this is Teresa, Makua County. I said I'd get back to you a little bit later today with a few of the details on my portable garden. I do have some of it with me, but not all of it, so I'll show you what I do have. And hopefully that'll kind of give you an idea of how it works. First, this is the entire garden. As you can see, every pail is numbered. How you number them really doesn't matter, but what's important is that you do. Because if you do have to move it, you need to know where each of these pails goes so you can put them back in order so that they're exactly the way that you want them to be for companion planting and all those sorts of things. Also, it should be noted that this comes in 3 stages. This is stage 1 or phase 1. This is phase 2, and this is phase 3. You can put it all together at once, or you can go with it during the year or at different years, or however you want to do it. Depends on what you want to do. These outlines here are like oh, now the word just went out of my head. It's like a frame. That's the word I want. It's like a frame. And that's important because right in here is where we're going to put some really important plants to the main crop and the secondary crop that's inside of these pails. So here we'll just work with phase 1 for a minute here. And again, this is 18 feet wide and 9 feet long. Each square is 6 inches, just so that it was easy to figure out. And what I want to say about these walkways here, they're a foot wide. They are planted intentionally with weeds. The weeds that I use, because this garden was designed for Wisconsin, are violets, purslane, dandelions, and plantain. So those go in the garden. Because they're harvested early in the spring, I take what I need out of there, and then the rest of the time it's just mowed. That keeps mulching these side rows down and retaining the water in there. So there is no cultivation in this garden at all, which really saves a lot of time, money, and equipment. You don't want to have to be constantly buying all of that. This is phase 1, pails 151 through 160. And as you can see, that's why you need to know what pails are where, because this whole thing is completely organized so that you can always put it back together. You can keep things that are combined or companions together, and it works really well that way. So let me show you here how this works. The phase 1, there are these pails here. It's down here is the key to it. So pail 151, which again would be here. Next pail is 154, and on like that is keyed to how you're going to plant it. These are all late potatoes in the middle. That is the primary crop. Following that are pole beans. So because these are late potatoes, we want to keep them as healthy as we can. So there's a teepee set up in each of these to hold the pole beans, to keep the potatoes shaded and keep the sun off and all that kind of stuff. We don't want any of those green potatoes in there. This little mark here is lettuce, and that is being shaded also by the pole beans. Up in here is the real workhorse of the garden. We have marigolds up here, and of course those are for keeping bugs and things out. We also have oregano. That does the same function. it does the same function, but there now you've got some of your herbs in there. Here's another marigold, and here's oregano. That comprises that top row there. Then down on the bottom here we have marigolds, and oregano again. And that will follow the whole way across here on this on these lines. In here we have more space. So there we put chives, horseradish, and chives. Chives, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but they actually not only repel bugs, but they improve and enhance the flavor of everything that's growing near them. So that's why they're put in there. And once you've got a gob of chives, it's easier to, it's an herb you can keep cutting off or dividing and putting back in there. Over on this side, it's important to know exactly what you're going to need. I used to always, just kind of like buy all this stuff and then I'd have stuff left over or not enough. Well, these are all counted. Every single pail, every single row, everything is counted. So for this particular group of pails, which would be this set here, this side and that side, you will need 20 potato sets to go in there. You'll need 56 yellow bean seeds. You'll need 104 green bean seeds, 416 lettuce seeds, and on and on and on. It lets you know exactly what you're going to need for every single piece of this garden. So that's how it works, and that's how the companion parts work. And of course, there's a lot more to it. I mean, there's tomatoes, there's everything, but that's just kind of how the beginning of it works. And something that's important to know here is the reason it's got X amount of plants is because the garden isn't figured out from garden forward, it's figured out from table backwards. So instead of having all these, like some years I would have so many tomatoes I didn't know what to do with them, and that's great. You can give them away, but it's also a waste of your time and your money, keeping track of all that and keeping care of it all year and everything. So this way I just figured out what I would need exactly, and then I planned accordingly, according to a menu that I made up for the entire year. So I hope that helps you kind of understand it a little better. Thanks.